Some businesses succeed, some don't. Then there are those that seem to have been around forever. The true entrepreneurial success story. How did they do it? What was their vision? What makes a success? In this special episode for Eye on Annapolis, we speak with the true success stories, those business owners that have been around for decades, learn from their successes and failures. Now, here's host John Fernay.
We're here with Linda Mann, who is the owner of Shades of the Bay down on Main Street in Annapolis. And you guys are a staple of businesses down on Main Street. You've been here, I don't want to say forever because then that makes it seem like you're really old because you're not. But you've been here certainly a long time as far as, pretty much I can remember. I moved down here in 96 and I know you've always sort of had a presence here. And we just wanted to bring you into the Legacy Business Series and talk about Shades of the Bay and, what it's all about and how you got where you are. So where did you all start?
Well, originally I started at Sunglass Hut on Market Street, and I believe that was in 95 or 96. And I started out as a manager there, and I worked there for about a year. And the original owner of Shades Unlimited at 103 Main Street had been asking me to come to work for her. And while I was at Sunglass Hut, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And I got a little upset with Sunglass Hut, corporate life. I didn't do well with that.
Okay.
And went to work part-time at Shades Unlimited. First day I was working there, I went home and said, I'm going to buy that store one day. And 2 years almost to the day, I bought Shades Unlimited. And that was in 1999.
Oh, my word. Okay.
And then I increased sales tremendously in that store and realized I wanted a second store. So shoot me now.
Okay. Well, Shades on the
Shades of the Bay.
Shades of the Bay, but Shades Unlimited was down on Lower Main Street.
It's at 103 Main Street now, where the dining area of Sakura is.
Okay.
So yeah, I started.
And it was bright blue.
It was bright blue. It was orange. It was blue. I had it a couple of different colors over the years. I like the blue the best.
And then you decided to get a second store.
Yeah, I had been looking for a couple of years for a second location, and I thought about the beach, and I thought about the town center, and a friend of mine up in Massachusetts said to me, why don't you open it on Main Street and be your own competition? And I was like, well, that's brilliant. I came back, and literally 3 weeks later, I signed the lease for Shades of the Bay, and I signed that lease in September of 07, and we opened in February of 08.
Okay.
And we all know what happened to the economy.
Right. Well, why the change of names? Why didn't you just call it Shades Unlimited? Or was that just because it was competition?
It was competition. I was competing against myself. Mm-hmm. So I only carried over 3 brands, so I was able to diverse more. And the bottom fell out of the economy, and it became very difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, Shades Unlimited closed.
Yeah, I closed Shades Unlimited.
It's now Sakura.
It's now Sakura. I closed Shades Unlimited in December 2012. Yeah.
And now you just have this sole location, which is, I would sort of say, right at the corner of, even though it's not a corner, but on Main Street opposite Gorman Street.
Right. Hyde Alley and Main Street, across the street from the garage.
They're very convenient location. Now, what brands do you represent? I mean, I know I bought my Maui Gyms there. I think that's probably your signature.
Well, Maui Gyms and Costa, Ray-Ban. We carry a lot of independent lines such as Dita and Randolph Engineering, which is a little company out of Boston, Massachusetts, Barton Pereira. I carry as many independent brands as I possibly can.
Well, the one thing that I do like about you is, the thing I don't like about you is because I tend to lose my glasses to the Bay.
Thank you.
Okay, and you don't change your name. Shades on the bottom of the Bay because you need a new pair, and I come in and I do replace it. But the other thing is that you've sort of expanded, and I don't know whether you expanded or whether it's always been that way. I buy all my flip flops there. All my I've switched from the Reefs to Olokai.
Olokai, yep. So I had all this space. At least I thought I had all this space. I went from 350 square feet at Shades Unlimited to 1,200 square feet at Shades of the Bay. And I was like, what am I going to do with this room? I don't want this all to be sunglasses. I was like, let me try out some flip-flops and see how that goes. And I brought in Reef, and then I brought in a brand called Sanuk, which no one knew about at the time. And I wanted to bring in Olakai, but Biz at Snyder's had Olakai, so I couldn't bring them in. And I'm a sunglass store that sells over 2,000 pair of flip-flops a year now.
Well, it kind of goes together. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, if you're in a boating or a beachy kind of a mood, two things that you probably need:
sunglasses and flip-flops. So I like to think of myself as a lifestyle store. So we have sunglasses, flip-flops. We also have hats that we sell. And we started selling bubbles a couple of years ago too.
Selling what?
Bubbles.
Really?
Giant Uncle Bubbles. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, sell beer. That's the only missing thing. You need a liquor license.
You know. Complimentary.
That's right at the boat shows.
Mm-hmm.
You always I do make a point to stop down at the boat shows. Now, when the boat shows roll around in October, you go back to your two stores.
I go back to three.
And at that point, you've got three. You've got the retail one and then two temporary ones.
Two temporary ones. Yeah, we sell Maui Jim only at the boat show, which has always been the case, and we sell.
And is that just like a partnership with you and Maui Jim to do that agreement?
Yes, it is.
To do that?
Yeah, and they give me lots of support, and I bring staff in. I have a friend from New York who comes in and helps out. And in the 9 days of boat show, we sell close to between 500 and 600 pair of Maui Jims.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
And I see that your hair has grown back from the boat show pretty nicely. Now here we are in November.
Yeah, I want to pull it out during boat show.
Running 3 stores.
So I think I've done this year. I want to say 16 years of boat shows.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's 4 shows a year for 16 years. You'd think I'd get it right by now.
That's right. No, well, you do. I mean, if you're selling
I don't know about that.
if you're selling that many pairs during a boat show season, if you will, or 2 weeks, you're obviously doing something right there.
A lot of work, but it's fun.
You know, owning a business is not for the faint of heart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you know, buying a store in the middle of a recession, and I mean, let's face it, I'm not buying expensive sunglasses, and I'm cutting back any expenses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going generic in the grocery store and everything else. So I mean, that's difficult. And it's something that
we have a little bit of something for everyone. We start at $30 and we go up to about $1,500. So I try to have something for someone who can't afford or doesn't want to spend a lot, to that person who is a collector.
$1,500 pair of glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go check those out. That's like it's like when I walked into a bike shop and I was looking to buy a bike, and I looked around and they were all starting like at $3,800. I'm like, where's like the Schwinn? You know,
right. I get it.
But are you a native to Annapolis?
No, I moved here in 1984. I moved here from Baltimore.
Okay.
And Annapolis is my home. I can't imagine living anywhere else. I love this city. I love the people in it. I love doing business here. I can't imagine living anywhere else. But that's going to happen one day.
It's at some point, right? We'll sell the store and sail off into the sunset.
It's a long time away.
That's right. Anybody I talk to that owns their own business says the same thing. It's I've never seen you a day, and not that I see you that often, but you're never not happy.
Then you haven't seen me.
But no, I mean, in generally though, I mean, most business owners, I mean, they're stressed as hell. There are, you've got employees to deal with. You've got, taxes, rent. I mean, there are months, I'm sure, where you sit there and you're, debating whether to pay the rent or the electric first.
Well, I'll tell you, John, when I had 2 stores, I woke up one morning right this time of the year and I realized I hated my life. I hated selling flip-flops. I hated selling sunglasses. I hated my employees. And I said to myself, if I hate selling sunglasses, something's wrong. And if I'm hating it, my employees are hating it. So something has to change. And I literally at that moment made the decision to close Shades Unlimited. I closed it 40 days after I made the decision to close it, and I have never looked back. It has been...
It turned your life around?
It turned my life around. I closed that store in December 2012. By that spring, I was loving selling sunglasses and flip-flops again.
What do you own that to? Just the stress of running two
The stress
places?
of running two stores, the employees, and not being able to be both places at once. As you all know, I have a lot of customers who just want to deal with me, and I couldn't be in two places. I felt like things had gotten out of control. If you don't like selling sunglasses and flip-flops, well, something's wrong.
Right.
So not that I don't have stress-free days, because I do, just like any business owner, but I truly love what I do today. I can't imagine doing anything else.
It's fun. It
is fun.
It's a small little shop. I mean, and you get to know your customers. You get to know your employees. Your employees get to know your customers.
It's not brain surgery. It's sunglasses.
That's true. I've always thought we've got enough of them on Main Street in downtown Annapolis. But I've always thought one of the best businesses to be into was ice cream.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves ice cream. Even those that are lactose intolerant that'll rip their stomach apart. 20 minutes later, they're going to go. They're going to go for it occasionally. And at one time it was typically a cash business, which was always a good thing. And but it's a happy business. Nobody comes in miserable for ice cream.
There are people who come in miserable for sunglasses once in a while, but most of the time that's not the case. And that's when I have to stop and go, it's sunglasses. Your world's not going to come to an end if your sunglasses don't come in tomorrow.
Right.
It's a necessary accessory is what I think about it. You have to have them, and let's have fun with it.
Now, you've had the two stores, and now you've shrunk back down to one for the most part, except for the boat show times. And any thoughts or nightmares or delusions or whatever you want to call it of jumping back up into an expansion? Have you ever looked at other markets?
No more. One of the things I've started to do in the last couple of years is I've started giving a lot back charity-wise. I don't know if you're familiar with Justin Power Kids.
Sure.
With Justin Burke. We've started raising money for him, and that has it's given me a different energy. And
I know Justin did several of his bike stops, and he had stopped by on the way down. So
the last couple of years at the boat shows, we raised money for his charity, and last year, 2018, we donated.
See, they're all melding into one.
Yeah, it is. It's like, okay, what year is it? What was I doing at that point? We raised, I think, close to $11,000 throughout the year for him. This year, I'm shooting for over 12. I just gave him a check for money we raised at the boat show for $8,000, and it's almost at my goal. So we're going to raise a little bit of money during Midnight Madnesses this year.
That's great. Well, he's got such a tremendous story about himself, and with his leg and his running and everything else. And I'm just so happy that everything. I mean, I remember when he left broadcast TV, and he was down, and it was like, okay, what's the next step? And man, he just took the ball and he ran, and I'm so happy to see him where he is.
So instead of opening another business, it's let me start giving back more, and that gives me a lot of joy. So I love it. I was like, let's raise money for these kids.
Humans are a giving creature, and I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's money and raising money for that, or it could just be something stupid to holding the door open for a struggling mother that's got bags out and a kid on the shoulder and everything else. Just to be kind, and I think the world could use a little bit more of that.
It could. So during Midnight Madness this year, we'll be doing our traditional hot chocolate with coconut Malibu, and Justin's wife Shannon will be here.
Okay,
and she's become like the weather wife now, so she's going to help us, and so we're going to ask for donations to help Justin Power Kids. So I'd rather give back instead of take right now. And I guess that's the point in my life where I'm at.
Well, that's great. That's fantastic. Yeah. Employees are all good? They're all happy with you now? They're not miserable like they were before? Or?
It depends on who you talk to. It depends on the day. It's a business.
Yeah.
And I have Rico, who's been an employee of mine for close to 12 years. So I've been blessed to have him. He's become a legacy on Main Street also. And I've got Kathy, who's been with me, I guess, over 3 years now. And I've got people who come back and help during the holidays. So I guess they like me. They keep coming back.
Well, that's no. No guessing involved there. That's something that you should certainly hang a plaque on the wall about for that. Well, I'll tell you, Shades of the Bay is one of my favorite little stores on Main Street.
You.
I do. I'm due for a visit in the spring when I get back into flip-flop weather and I get rid of my...
Oh, we have slippers also.
Yeah, I know. I just got some for Christmas. I don't like slippers for the most part. Go figure. I don't know. I will wear flip-flops like way later than anybody close to me says I should. They're like, really? Flip-flops?
If I can't wear my flip-flops or my Uggs, I'm not going.
Just stay at home. That's
exactly right.
Well, I will say congratulations. I'm not going to do the math real quick, but for so many years on Main Street.
Yeah, it's like 25 years.
And the growth. The store itself looks great. I mean, you did a great renovation when you moved into there. I don't know exactly what condition it was when you took it. What was it before?
Well, actually, the Hyatts owned the building, and it was had just been redone. The building had just been gutted. So I was the first new tenant in there, and I'm the only one that's still here.
Fantastic.
So I think originally, before the Hyatts redid it, was It's a Breeze. So Jason from the T-shirt stores, it was his store.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you, I don't want to take too much of your time because I know we're in the middle of the busy holiday season, and Shades of the Bay is probably having all sorts of shades flying out the door as
it happens during the holidays.
And it's great that it's the holidays. I mean, it's a great boost as we get up to the end of December, and you've got the Midnight Madnesses and whatnot there. Linda Mann, thank you very much. Congratulations on so many years, and here's to many, many more, I guess.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this special podcast for Annapolis. Please be sure to visit Annapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinions. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you your local news direct to your phone or tablet every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Subscribe on iTunes or Google Play.